Hey yo, today we're going to be watching a little bit on the channel Liberal Hivemind, basically talking about the dirt that was found on Gavin Newscum. Let's get into it.
It's absolutely crazy what a PR campaign can achieve for you. If we're talking about a politician who is down in the dumps, who is pretty much at the bottom of the barrel, everything around him falling apart, I think that would be an accurate description of where Gavin Newsom was at the start of the year. Of course, following California's decade-long failures under his leadership, actually even a little bit longer, but really the last 10 years, we've seen California decline in so many different ways. We've seen hundreds of thousands of people flee for the greener pastures of Florida and other states. Then we've got all the COVID scandals, all the corruption scandals, the failed programs, billions of dollars simply vanishing from thin air, all the NGOs getting exposed. Then the wildfire failures, not to mention Gavin Newsom almost got recalled, I think back in 2021. It's been an utter disaster, and yet somehow this guy went from being a total frickin' loose end, being an absolute liability for the party on the national stage, to now being the front runner. And all it took was a couple little ad campaigns and him starting a new podcast. All it took was some hand gestures and some angry rants. All it took was some weirdo taking over his social media and tweeting a bunch of unhinged crap for, I guess, all of it to be forgotten, and now Gavin Newsom be rebranded, revived as the hashtag resistance politician, the guy who's gonna take on Donald Trump and play his own game, even though Donald Trump is pretty much done in 3 years. But it's absolutely crazy what one little shift can do, how people can just totally forget a decade of scandals in the blink of a freaking eye. But honestly, when it comes to Gavin Newsom, I've maintained this forever. I think, although they might have caused a little momentary lapse in memory and judgment, at the end of the day with this guy, the skeletons in his closet are so overpacked, there's so many of them, that it's all going to end up coming to bite him in the behind, especially if he, expects to get elected on a general election stage. There's just so much ammunition, there's so much failure, so much corruption, and it continues to get exposed to this day.
Allegedly, of course.
We got more and more mounting corruption scandals coming out of California, all of it in some way downstream from Gavin Newsom. And this week, once again, we got another
Not that I don't absolutely allegedly believe it.
lawsuit. The DOJ is going after Gavin Newsom over yet again another corruption scandal, another unconstitutional Democrat power grab. The issues keep mounting for little Gavin Newsom as he and his state of California are getting exposed as basically the most corrupt racket in the union. I don't know how this guy's presidential run is going to make it through with all this going on. Let me update you guys on exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So here we got a tweet from Pam Bondi. The DOJ is now suing Gavin Newsom over a California measure that gives illegal immigrants access to in-state tuition.
Third time in 7 days. That's pretty hilarious. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Discriminating against American students by offering tuition benefits for non-citizens. California is yet again flagrantly disregarding federal law. We will see them in court. Now, how obtuse do you have to be granting non-citizens this stuff? It is literally, man, it's insane. Come on. We have homeless people that don't have homes.
Benefits, marking the third lawsuit in 7 days against the clown Gavin Newsom. The lawsuit.
Now, granted, that's not me saying we ought to take care of all of the homeless, because a lot of the homeless is mental people. Not all. Some of them are just down on their luck and need a hand, and those we should help. And the ones that are addicted to drugs or something or another, we need to put them in rehabs and get them help. Obviously, not against their will. But I'm a firm believer of he who does not want to be helped, you can't help, period. So you find somewhere for them. I don't know what the answer to that is. The Bible says you don't work, you don't eat. So if you don't want help, you don't have to have help. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is when we have homeless people, veterans who want to delete themselves, people that and you're giving it to non-citizens, people. And why are you doing that? Because your nasty politics has incentivized self-deletion or baby deletion and things of this nature, and we cannot even replace and repopulate our own states to take over. So we're having to import citizens from the third world. Insanity. Insanity wears a face, and it is Gaven Newscum. It is friggin' Lori Lightfoot that was in there. Now Brandon Davis or whatever his name is, and now Zoran Mandani. Now all of these liberal shitholes that they call great bastions of secularism nowadays. I mean, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And my hope and prayer is that all of the good, godly, conservative people that don't want to burn, come on up out of it. Come on up out of them. Get out of New York. Escape from New York as fast as you can, Snake Plissken. Escape from L.A., Snake Plissken. Get out of California as fast as you can. There's already been a huge exodus. We've seen it. It's happened. Now we're going to see more. You get away from these blue places. Get away from them. We have 3 here in Alabama where I live, and they're awful. Number 1 worst, they say, is Birmingham has consistently been one of the 4th most dangerous cities in the whole country for like 4 or 5 years at certain times. But it's always been within the top 10. Why? Because it's a shithole. And that's 20 minutes from me that way. North, I'm pointing north. 20 minutes north to me. And there's another one 45 minutes south, Montgomery. And then even further than that, at an hour and a half, 45 minutes past that one, is Mobile. 3 liberal shitholes in Alabama, a red state. Why? Because of people like Gaven Newscum. Because of people like Lori Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson and all of these people that run these places into the ground. They have you Christians are bad for people. Why? Don't force me to... you're not forced. God doesn't force anyone. It's not about force. It's a better prescription to live your life. If you go to the doctor and you have something and he prescribes you, 7 jumping jacks, that's not going to help whatever your issue is. So why in the hell would you ever go back to that doctor? You wouldn't. But yet, you get the same kind of prescriptions from all of these mayors, all of these governors, all of these friggin' city officials and city workers and things of that nature, police chiefs, fire chiefs. There was the lady in friggin' California on the fire department crew. It's not her job to carry men out of burning buildings. If you have to rely on a woman firefighter to carry you out of a burning building, you need to think about what you do. I think that was what she said. Allegedly. That's insane. That's your job. If you can't do your job, do not sign up to do that job. I guess we're going to continue. This is kind of like friggin' Twilight Zone, where stupid shit just keeps happening randomly. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I guarantee you, there's going to be bad come out of all of this.
Filed in the Eastern District of California essentially says what we've been covering for years, that California's education code is making out-of-state U.S. citizens pay higher tuition than people who are in the country illegally. This is now being called unequal treatment, unconstitutional, squarely at odds with federal law, which explicitly states that you cannot give tuition benefits to illegal aliens based on residency unless those same benefits are available to all U.S. citizens.
And we know that they're not. We know that they're not. Lawsuit. I mean, why do we keep tolerating this? Because we don't have a choice. Why do we not have a choice? Because we've let slime and we've let Ilhan Omar, she's in Congress. Sharita Tlaib, Ariana Presley, AOC, Bernie Sanders even. I can keep going. Adam Schiff, Adam Kinzinger, excuse me. He's supposedly right down the middle. No. You got people out there claiming to be conservatives that are not conservatives. Dan Crenshaw. That's kind of clear what he is. And yet, I guess we're just going to keep on pretending like we're everything's hunky-dory here in America until the damn enemy is inside the gates fully, just like the city of Troy. How was the city of Troy taken? Bueller, anybody? The Trojan horse. What is the Trojan horse? Our government, our Congress. We have no King's rallies and no King's parades and all this stuff because in protest of Donald Trump. Yet he has 4 years for a term and only limited to 2 terms to be served as president by the 22nd Amendment, I believe. What's the term limits on Congress and the Senate? There's your real kings. They're the ones who block Trump at every turn. He can't get anything done. So how the hell is Trump a king? This is insanity. I keep saying it. It's insanity. And it is insanity. We the people, for the people, by the people, of the people. But yet that's all garbage. Why is it all garbage? Because we see that King George, that he infiltrated our stuff long time ago. And now everybody is doing what? King, senator, king, or queen. I might as well say queen because half of it's women nowadays. And women do not lead good. Once a month, in the middle of the month, they go insane. And we all know it. Even long after menopause is over, they still do it. I'm just going to say it. Look right here at friggin' Pam Bondi's face. She's working for Trump. You can look at her and tell she's a bitch. You can look at her and tell she's a bitch. Candace Owens, you can look at her and tell she's a bitch. You can probably look at me and tell I'm a little bitchy at times, but guess what? Benefit of the doubt when I can. You know why? Because I don't know it all. But one thing I do know is the Trojan horse, the enemy is at the gates. The enemy is at the gates. Oh, no, the enemy is not at the gates. The enemy is inside. They just elected one mayor in New York. Congress lady in friggin' Minnesota. Look at Dearborn, Michigan, for God's sake. But no, it's not friggin' Sharia we got to worry about. No. It's the Christians. It's the Christians trying to give prescriptions for life. As stated earlier, if you break your damn arm and you go to the doctor and he tells you to do 25 sit-ups or push-ups, what is that going to help? Because that's about the same kind of thing you're getting out of these liberal places. They just throw money at the education problems. They throw money at the gang problem violence. They ignore the fact that all of the violence comes from the left these days. And why? Because they want to take away our pew-pews. They can't truly come in and take over until those are done. And that's what they're working on. They've been trying to do it since, I don't know how many of you are, I'm in my 40s. And I remember I was in 2nd grade back in the 90s when Bill Clinton came in and tried to friggin' do it. And him and Joe Biden and all of them, what did they do? They passed the assault weapons ban. What is an assault weapon? Any friggin' weapon. There is no classification. A regular semi-automatic rifle is not an assault weapon. But it looks scary. Okay, so it's literally the same thing as a deer rifle. Now you're going to tell me because of this stuff that we can't have deer rifles? Forgive me if we get a little over animated, but you know what? This is enough to get a man furious and ticked off. I'm sorry. You know where women should be? At home, raising their children, serving their husbands, serving the Lord, serving their children. It's far more rewarding. You get nothing from going and getting a career. You're literally over. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, well, why is it men can't make a decent living anymore? And don't tell me they can. Don't tell me they can. Look at inflation. Tell you what. Go get a mortgage right now. Me and my wife would like to downsize our house because there's stairs right here around that door. Actually, no, it's on this side. Past that little safe right there, there's steps that goes upstairs. Okay? And then there's another set of steps that goes up after that. We're getting old. Our knees and backs are hurting. So we would literally, our oldest son's already moved out of the house. Our second son is 17, fixing to be 17 next month. And my daughter is fixing to turn 11 in 2 months. Okay? So we literally could downsize our house. But you know what the problem is? We would pay more for a smaller house. Why? Anybody? Again, waiting. This might be my new shtick. Just getting really pissed off and doing it for the camera. But the point of the matter is we would be far better off staying in this huge ass house than getting a smaller house. Interest, principal, friggin' everything, the whole 9 yards, the taxes, the insurance, every bit of it will be more. Because we're locked in. We're locked in at insurance. Now our taxes and insurance are different. Our interest, I mean, and it is insanity. But we go along to get along just like everybody else.
Again, everything in the Democrat world seems to revolve around two demographics, the criminal and the illegal alien. I mean, that's obviously the racket here, right? You could be an American citizen, a kid born in, let's say, Ohio, but if you're going to study at higher education in California, you pay the max tuition. Meanwhile, somebody who broke into the country illegally gets a state resident discount. There's more beneficial policy and advantages and benefits for illegal aliens than for actual U.S. citizens in California. And of course, that's all by design. It's essentially become the modern model. It's the California model that they're now trying to take nationwide. We're talking mass immigration fraud, illegal migration, the legitimization of the illegal immigrant, all of it allowed, enabled under Democrat leadership for one very specific purpose, and that's in the pursuit of more political power. Democrats have understood that their only path to victory is complete demographic change to essentially replace American citizens.
Point out, look right here, standing right there, I guess at his left hand, behind his left hand is basically a carbon copy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg right there. Just a younger version, standing right behind him. As what? Secret Service for him? Friggin' an aide? I don't know. All that's alleged. I mean, it's my guess. It's not even alleged. Go home, women. Have kids. You only have so long before your clock is done. You only have so long. We men, we can have kids up into our damn 80s. You cannot. You only have a tight little window. Tight little window when you can have children. And then your body just starts declining. There are a few things that the red pill have right. There are a few things that the red pill have right. Like a man's stock just keeps going up. Just keeps going up. He just keeps getting better over time. Now, he'll break down eventually. But he has more earning potential the older he gets. He has more respect and more value the older he gets. He gets more distinguished. He has more knowledge. The same is not true with women. They do get more distinguished and they do have more knowledge to a degree. But their body goes downhill quickly. Their beauty goes downhill quickly unless you're Joan Rivers and paying thousands and thousands of dollars every single year. Allegedly, let me preface that. You're not going to look the same. You're going to continue to decline. Your womb is only active until you're like 40, mid-40s. And that's even like 35 begins geriatric pregnancy. Now, I get it. It's not for everyone. If you don't adopt, nothing wrong with that. That's a very admirable thing to do. The ones who cannot have children from the start, no ill will upon you, wished from me. However, do not encourage young women to delete their children. You have to watch what you say here on YouTube. Do not encourage them for that. There's nothing but shame from that. Maybe not right off the bat, but later, when you start to think about it, when you're alone, when you're miserable, when you got no one to care for you, no one to hold you up, no one to guide you, it's sad. It is so sad. All of time, every single war that has ever been, all of time, there's been like 1 billion men die in it. Just since 1980, women alone have deleted 1.3 billion children. Let that sink in.
A new form of voter, a new form of constituent, the illegal migrant that is dependent and beholden and absolutely loyal to the Democrat Party. And of course, that's exactly what we've seen in California. There's no better issue to expose this than with CDL licenses, commercial driver's licenses. Well, actually, here's an interesting story that I think will kind of put it into perspective. We've got a trucking group here that's dedicated to getting illegal truck drivers off of the roads. And just recently, they tipped off authorities about a hot spot on the I-40, which is right around the Texas Panhandle. It's an area known for foreign drivers running freight illegally. And so basically, ICE got the tip. Law enforcement then moves in. They inspect 105 commercial vehicles in one day, and they find 35 illegal drivers. And then guess what?
And then on top of it, you got this going on right here, all these illegal drivers. And then ignore the illegal drivers. You got, I'm just going to say it, Trump and Vivek Ramaswamy and friggin' Elon Musk and other entities such as those trying and vying for Indians to come in here with H-1B visas to do the same thing, to do drive taxis, to do DoorDash, to do paint delivery, to do all, local delivery around cities, to do worldwide over the road trucking. We have to quit deleting our children. It is crucial. It is crucial. And it's not because it's the cool thing to do. It's because we need people. We need people. And you don't even realize that's what the Crusades were about mainly. The midwives that were there, a lot of them were doing what? Assisted child sacrifice. By deleting them. Not all of them, mind you. There were a lot of the good ones. But a lot of that was just that.
What? Not only did ICE confirm that every single one of them were in the country illegally, but almost every single one of those drivers had their licenses issued out of California. None of them in Texas.
Imagine that. All Texas people getting licenses issued in California. Imagine that.
The whole thing is a frickin' racket. It's an illegal immigration pipeline. And that's the California model. California is the home for all of
All I can say is you better be glad I'm not president. You better be glad I'm not president. Because day one, we would have martial law declared, and I would clean up this damn country. And I understand that's hyperbole, but it's not hyperbole. It's if I could find people, I know I'd be sued every state and every city and what, but I don't even give I don't care. I would do it. I would do it. I'd rather be sued for cleaning up the place and getting illegal people of every kind. I don't care where you come from. If you're not supposed to be here, if you didn't pass a citizenship test and did not get an actual green card and did not actually become a citizen, you're not paying taxes, you're not contributing, you're out of here. You're out of here.
this stuff. Fraud, abuse, waste, corruption, this government racketeering and embezzlement. It's the perfect example. The more government you got, the more tax dollars you got pouring into your state coffers. Of course, the California economy is very active, especially in the world of tech. They've got all kinds of tax dollars and high taxes. And well, the more taxes you got, the more fraud you get, the more corruption, the more embezzlement. California is the flashing warning sign for the country. Democrats want Californication on a federal level because, of course, they've seen the results. California used to be a red state. It was Reagan country. Tough on crime, conservative voters, a competitive economic landscape. And, well, what changed over the last couple of years? The left would tell you it's been a hippie revolution. The generation of love and LSD caused a mass political enlightenment in the state. And then California just went woke. But, of course, that's not how it happened. The way California has become a Democrat stronghold was almost purely from demographic engineering. They imported millions upon millions of illegal immigrants over the decades. Then layer on top of that, you've got sanctuary policies, you've got tuition giveaways, you've got these illegal driver's licenses being handed over, every form of illegal legitimization that you could imagine for illegal migrants. Then comes the next stage, of course, anchor babies or marrying U.S. citizens. The next generation of Californians, well, most of them are born to foreign parents, many of them illegal. And so slowly but surely, through this demographic shift, the state has turned into a Democrat bastion. And now all of a sudden, after this demographics engineering, well, it just becomes a playground for corrupt Democrats and bureaucrats. You don't need to deliver results. You can throw away $20 billion on a railway system that goes nowhere, and no one even bats an eye. Oh,
and they've been working on this railway system for 15 years. 15, actually, I think it's 14. 14 years. And they've spent so many billions of dollars on it. 14 years. Why? So that Dracula over here can buy greaseback, slickback hair cream and blue suits and, I don't know, some skin cream to keep him from, burning up and disintegrating out in the sunshine, I guess, because that's a slick car salesman vampire if I've ever seen one. Slimy friggin' weasel, man. Ugh.
You're the Democrat, you get elected. It's an environment rife for corruption. And that's why nearly all of these headlines that keep coming up are nothing but waste, fraud, and abuse in California. Fraudulent licenses, unconstitutional programs, federally taxpayer-funded healthcare handed to illegal migrants. Another California Democrat getting federally charged in a massive embezzlement scheme.
Last week, Governor Gaven Newsom's chief of staff was indicted for 23 felony counts in a federal corruption investigation. This is his former chief of staff. She left the office at the end of last year. The charges include conspiracy to commit bank wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruct justice, subscribing to false tax returns, making false statements to the FBI. The main conduct being alleged involves theft of campaign funds totaling $225,000, tax fraud, as well as fraud surrounding a PPP loan. The indictment lists a number of co-conspirators, including the former chief of staff for California's Attorney General, including a high-powered lobbyist, including another well-known consultant, as well as a number of other unnamed co-conspirators. I have spoken about a culture of corruption that exists in Sacramento. And this latest series of events has cast that culture of corruption in stark relief. Indeed, the former chief of staff or communications director for both Jerry Brown and Dianne Feinstein used those very words in the aftermath of this indictment to describe the area that he had worked for many, many years, a culture of corruption. He referred to Governor Newsom's chief of staff, who's now been indicted, as, quote, a mafia boss.
Gavin Newsom's own chief of staff was just indicted on 23 felony counts in a federal corruption investigation. She was described as, quote, a mafia boss by other fellow Democrats. That's the culture they've created. There's no accountability. The result